War II, Greek immigrant sons fought on the battlefield and served their country well. A new spirit of Hellenic identity emerged. Courageous Greece gave the Allies their first victory in Europe. Greek-American servicemen followed in this tradition, making their families and community very proud.
He's in the army now, a blowing reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. They made him.
I had this in mind that if I get a commission in the naval service, that I was going to go to church and put a $10 bill in the tray.
I was a participant at D-Day with a separate tank battalion that I was assigned to. I was a platoon leader with 5 tanks.
I was involved in 3 D-Day invasions, one in Leyte, Philippines, one in Manila, and from there on April 1st, which was not only April Fool's Day, it was Easter Sunday, we had D-Day invasion in Okinawa.
We landed on Okinawa. We did replace the Army division. I led a patrol out. I was wounded.
You see things like that, things happen to you like that, and how do you account for it? You don't. And you just go on and do what you got to do.
Other Greek Americans also contributed to the war effort by buying war bonds, spearheaded by the GWRA, Greek War Relief Association. It produced one of the largest war bond drives of any organization, raising $5 million.
Mr. Spiros Kouras, my uncle, was the head of the Greek War Relief. The Kouras brothers raised $3 million for the Greek War Relief in 3 months.
There was rumors about a Greek battalion that was being formed in Colorado.
A bulletin came by asking for Greek-speaking officers because they wanted to form a Greek battalion at Camp Carson. And they call it the 122nd Infantry Battalion. Most of us, we were Greek descent or born in this country or from the country.
We felt that going to the Greek battalion that we'll end up fighting in Greece, so that gave us the best of 2 worlds. When FDR came in, it's one of the few times where a foreign flag was flown next to the American flag at an army camp, and that was the Greek flag.
San Julian Street, the first church in Los Angeles. We finally got a new priest called Father Anthony Kostouris, and to me, he is the most outstanding priest.
When I first arrived, I had to deal with a situation where the distribution of antidoron became a real problem. They would come from all sides at once at me, and I asked them in a very nice way over and over again to stop doing that. I discovered that because of my youth, they weren't paying attention, so one Sunday I told them, unless you come with order, you will not get antidoron. I gave 2 or 3 antidoron, then I stopped and said, I'm sorry, you didn't come with order, therefore I will not give antidoron. And of course, there was an uproar, no doubt. Next Sunday, I said, if you don't come with order, now don't forget to come with order. That did it. That changed the whole thing. So I learned my first lesson. Greeks respect strength, even though they may criticize it. They don't respect weakness.
Greek people don't really get along that well when they start politics. Oh boy, there's always 2 sides. Oh boy. I used to come in there and crawl under the table in the dining room and just listen to them. There were 8 or 10 or 15 men there, and everyone was expressing their opinion of what should be done. Naturally, they were all different.
Frank Desby was very, very unique. No one can replace Frank Desby of blessed memory.
You have to imagine being back in 1948 and all of a sudden hearing the women sound like clouds in the heavens singing Vox Patri, and then the men in the distance.
And through the Olympic Games, there's peace and unity because there is unity through diversity. And when you see Americans of various ethnic backgrounds, religious beliefs, colors, and cultures. When you see Greeks, you see the same thing.
And so, as you can imagine, we were a little embarrassed to put on these frilly skirts.
It looked like I had a bad case of varicose veins.
Yes, I did wear a fustanella.
I was like 10 or 12 years old, and I had a little pot, and I had a fustanella on.
And I'm thin, so my skirt looked especially big on me. In fact, they had to take 50 pleats out so it would look decent.
It was a traumatic day for me. I jumped out of the car, and my fustanella fell to the ground.
I was probably the shortest F-zone you ever saw in your life.
Some of the people that were our age would tease us, you know. But we stood firm. Some of the guys in the group were big guys, and they let them have it. They'd tell you, hey, this is our culture, pal, this is what we do.
That was the last time I'm going to wear a fustanella, you know.
And you stood on the stage and you recited in Greek.
Right after I said that poem with my fustanella and everybody's crying, 600 people in that hall from the church crying, I said, boy, this is powerful. I can do a lot of stuff with this, you know.
But it made my mom and dad happy.
We need to keep Greece alive in all things Greek, alive in our children and our children's children, to carry on that flame, because it is a fervor, you know, it's a flame, that passion about being Greek, and we need to continue that.